Hello, everyone. Welcome to a deadline day special. We are almost in the last hour of the window, and my God, have we had some breaking news. Jadon Sancho to Chelsea is a here we go loan with an obligation fee. We're going to touch on that. Manuel Ugarte is a here, well, it's already a here we go, but he's officially been announced on Manchester United's website. Loads of quotes coming out from Dan Ashworth and the player himself. So very, very excited to discuss those. Victor Lindelof seems like he's staying at the club. Raheem Sterling could make a very, very late move to Arsenal. That's completely off the cards for United now, and doesn't seem like any more signings would be made. I mean, if it would, Sam, it would be the biggest shock ever, wouldn't it?
I mean, if they're going to sign somebody now, then Jesus Christ, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm prepared for that, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Don't expect it. I don't expect anything from
Madness.
United.
No. To be honest, I didn't expect this Jadon Sancho thing to go through. I actually had, when we was initially going to go live, we was going to talk about these deals, of course. But we didn't know Ugarte was going to be, the news was going to be rock at 9:30, and we definitely didn't know Sancho was going to break. We just knew there was talks, and it was up in the air, and it was very silent. But we have had it, here we go, and that is Jadon Sancho to Chelsea on loan with an obligation to buy. There's no mention of the price as of yet. I'm sure there'll be details coming out, maybe even whilst we're live. But let's say there is, because it's a loan fee initially. Obviously, they're going to pay his wages and that, Sam. The Athletic reported early on today, didn't they, 25 million. So do you reckon that's what he's probably gone for?
Yeah, I'd imagine that's going to be the obligation or around that, or unless there's like a loan fee. Like I saw numbers flying around from different journals, like 6 to 8 million loan fee. So maybe that gets knocked off it. So maybe it costs them like 18, 20 million or something when the obligation kicks in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd imagine it's around that, but I'm sure Ornstein or somebody like that will drop a number at some point. I'm sure that'll happen.
Well, we just had some. Chelsea's obligation to buy Sancho is on a free lower than 40 million. What, does that make sense? Is on a free lower than on
I
a
think
fee?
it
Oh,
should
I
have
think
been
it's meant to
fee, I
put.
think.
Yeah. Lower than 40 million. We expected that. It's probably around 30 million, I'm guessing. But yeah, departs 3 years after joining us, Sam, in such a transfer saga that was just filled with nonsense. One, it chased him for 2 years, ended up signing him for 72 million pounds. I mean, that's got to go down as one of the most underwhelming signings, hasn't it? Like, I know we've got a big list of them, but he's
Yeah.
a part of that.
Yeah, there was Laurie Whitwell put an article out. I don't know, was it this year or was it last year, where it just broke down everything that happened with Sancho and why he didn't
I know
get
what you're
going.
referring
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
It was like when he first came, he had an ear infection that went on for ages and it's upset his rhythm and stuff like that. And then the team has had such a terrible season just post Ollie under Ragnick and stuff. So again, there was stuff going on. And when obviously Ten Hag comes in, doesn't have a really good season under that, then goes away for 3 months, get his head right, comes back, falls out with the manager, goes on loan to Dortmund, comes back, and they said, "Oh, we've drawn a line underneath it," and it's clear that there hasn't been a line drawn underneath it because the first 2 games of the season he was out with an ear infection. The second one he travelled, but then didn't even make the bench. And then Ten Hag's in a press conference, yeah, I want to keep him. And then if that doesn't prove, all these people, when Ten Hag says something in a press or an interview, and they go, "Why are you saying stuff like
Yeah.
that?" Don't believe anything. They're all full of shit. They're just complete nonsense. Do not listen to him. It's always bollocks. And this just proves it. 'Cause he's like, we're gonna keep him. He's part of the squad. Blah blah. 3 hours later, he's gone and he's done. So don't believe everything you hear. So yeah, it's just been torrid time. He's not shown up on the pitch either, has he? To be honest, can you name a game where he's been like excellent?
No,
I can't.
we've discussed it before, haven't we? There's a handful where maybe he's had 45 minutes, or I even remember when Ragnick first came in, first 45 in that 4-2-2 Gegen
Crystal
pressing system.
Palace.
He looked all right,
Yeah.
and then he was blowing out of his arse. I remember maybe half a game against Leicester,
Yeah.
where he came on as a 10, performed well. Game against Villa, that was actually at the game in the cup, he was decent. But for what you've paid for 70 odd million, he's been no way near it. And it's just never ever worked out. And you can't say, a lot of people argue the case for the player, saying, "Oh, he's not being used right. It's not this." 3 coaches have been there now, and 3 coaches have not had issues with him, but they've not tend to. You wouldn't hang your hat on him as a player, would you? That's the difference.
No. And he's had previous as well. Like this is not. It's not just happened at United. He was let go from City for similar reasons. He was dropped from England for similar reasons. When he was at Dortmund, he was forming on the pitch, but away from the pitch, he had to have people mind him to make sure he get up on time, to get to training, to get on the coach. basically, he's like, you're a 20-year-old lad, like you need to be taking responsibility for getting to training and getting to your job on time. You can't be doing shit like that. So there's been issues forever, and I think it's just carried on to United. He's just, again, all the ability in the world, tremendous bags of ability, but his head and his attitude just isn't aligned with his ability, unfortunately.
Yeah, which makes me like really think what's going on with Maresca. Why does Maresca want him? That does surprise me. Now, I'd imagine I've said this in a video, the Sterling versus Rashford video that I did. Maresca's a very strategic, positional play kind of coach. So Sancho fits into that kind of that mold. But I'm just they're like us. You've got a coach who's got a frosty relationship now with Mudryk and Sterling. That's why Sterling out the window,
Chalobah as well.
and there's a couple of us that even in the squad.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chalobah obviously he's going. But
Conor Gallagher's
speaking
gone.
like specifically wingers,
Yeah,
I mean, there's a frosty relationship ongoing there, and it's a back and forth, and he's publicly criticising him. So Sancho looking at that, I don't know what Maresca said to him. I just don't think he's going to get as much game time as he wants. Like, it doesn't make sense, that does it? The Chelsea move for me, anyway.
I think any move, obviously the Chelsea one was mentioned, but the move to Juventus didn't make sense because they just bought 3 wingers as well, and they got rid of Chiesa, and they bought 3 wingers. It's like, well, where's he going to play? How much game time is he going to get there? Like, it didn't make any sense there either. So yeah, the Chelsea again, Chelsea seems to be this anomaly where it's just like they're buying players. I don't see what the plan is with these players. I don't see what the only thing I can think in my head is they get him and they hope he performs to some sort of level that they can sell him for a profit. That's the only thing I can think of. The only thing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Mike Keegan actually just put on Twitter saying Jadon Sancho to Chelsea on loan and obligation very close. Future fee, I believe, is between 20 and 25 million. Big saving on wages for United and gets a problem for them out the door. Yeah, so it's not just that. It's Sancho's wages equivalent to £16 million a year. So you're getting 25 million, but also 16 mil on top of that twice. So 30 million. Obviously, don't really need to replace him, do they, Sam? I know there was talks of Chukwuemeka, weren't there, earlier on today, but we're quite stacked in the winger position.
Yeah, you've got Ahmad, you've got Anthony. I mean, I know we don't want Anthony, but we have Anthony. And you got Garnacho, you got Rashford, you got Mount when he's fit, he can play there. You got Bruno can play there, Xerxes can play there. We've got enough options there. I don't think we need to worry too much. We've obviously got Chidi Oban Martin who can play there as well. I believe he's coming through. I know he's mainly a striker, but he can play there, so he's been touted as well. So yeah, I think we've got enough options to cover. I think had the opportunity presented itself for a player United wanted, i.e. like a Cole Palmer, I think we would have done something. However, we're not going to take a player just for the sake of it anymore. That's just not who United are anymore.
Yeah, finally did a massive, massive problem, like they said, Mike Keegan just said rightly there, off our hands, and we don't have to discuss Jadon Sancho anymore, which is great. And same thing with, obviously, a different situation, but with Mason Greenwood, it's a similar thing. Like, I'm just sick of talking about it as a transfer and discussing it. Will he go? Won't he go? They're off the books now, and that actually brings our total sales, I believe, around 125 million, 130 million. Which then our net spends below £100 million. And we've brought in Ugarte, we're going to discuss in a minute, De Ligt, Majraoui, Yoro, and Xerxes. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm happy
they've
with
done
that.
well in the first window.
I'm happy with all those signings. Obviously, a left back would have been nice, but you can't fix every issue in one window. We've got those young players coming in as Samuel Lasal, Sekou Kone, and Chidi Oban Martin, which I like as well. I love the young talent. Interesting talent, and we were speaking off camera that apparently that Sekou Kone, he is coming into the academy setup initially, but apparently he's not seen as an academy player. He's going to be seen as a first team player. So that's potentially that's another 6 as well that you've got that you could potentially bleed into the team. So yeah, really, really good window for Minos.
Yeah, fantastic. Definitely a solid 8 out of 10 from me. And that includes Manuel Ugarte, Sam. He's just been officially announced on Manchester United's website at 9:30. Ugarte from PSG to United is done deal. A €50 million fee with another €10 million in performance-based add-ons. Contract until 2029 with the option of another year. PSG have a 10% sell-on clause. but he's not registered in time to face Liverpool, which we already knew. A 5-year deal, as I've touched on. We've got Dan Ashworth, who said Manuel was another of our primary targets this summer. He is among the very best ball-winning midfielders in the world and has an excellent record at both club and international level. His qualities, experience, and passion will be a great complement to our strong group of midfielders. Manuel is a player we've watched closely. We're excited to see the positive impact he will make in the pitch and in the dressing room as we strive for success. Sounds like a good signing, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Like, we've needed a 6 for since Michael Carrick left? We've needed a 6.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since we've got like a quality 6, and we've had players fill in. We had the famous McFred duo for a long time. Now it's finally over because they've both got left the club. And then we've had Casemiro there, who did okay for the first season, but then last season was pretty piss poor. This season looks a little better, but I think playing him 3-4 times a week, I think he's just not going to do well. So getting somebody in of Ugarte's quality, quite his level, and who is a pure number 6, and it will do that dogged work, will fight, will tackle, will break play up, and will provide that aggression that you need to and help the defense. I think that's a fantastic buy, and we stuck to our guns on the price as well. We didn't overpay. We came in with a price we were prepared to pay for, and we did it, and we paid it, and fantastic business again from Ineos.
Yeah, but realistically, when you look at the market, I know there was some options out there. I know there was talking about Sanderberg and Fofana, and maybe there was a couple of others that were floating about. But for me, he's the best opportunity on the market. I didn't see anyone else, at least we knew PSG wanted to sell him.
Yeah.
And who we could get at that price, 40 plus 10 in add-ons. However people want to fucking put it out there, it's 50 million euros, whatever. It's 40 million, and then there's 10 in add-ons in performance base. So we've got it down from the initial 50 solid sale that they wanted. So that's, I know they took like a month on it or whatever. If they thought it was worth it, maybe they might have needed funds from McTominay, who's officially joined Napoli, obviously today. I'm not entirely sure the whole details behind it, but whichever way you look at it, I think it's a very good signing. I've got some stats on him here, so I'm going to dive into the quotes from Ugarte himself, but I'll just read out some stats for you, which I'm sure you probably know the majority of them anyway. Last season, Ugarte, 23, won the league and cup double with PSG before playing every game at the Copa America and being named in the team of the tournament, taking his tally of international caps to 22. Since the start of 22-23 season, Ugarte has averaged the second highest number of tackles per 90 minutes in Europe's major leagues, and he has the most interceptions across Europe since the start of 22-23 as well, 403. An absolute machine in the midfield is what we need when you look at our system, Sam.
Yeah, you look at that, like that's exactly what we've been needing. Like our midfield just gets passed through like with 2 passes and they're in on the defense. And I think we faced more shots than anybody last season. And our goalkeeper was put under constant pressure. We had an ever-changing back line as well, which didn't help matters. Casemiro was piss poor. It was all over the place, that area of the pitch. And I think getting in a player of his quality, like you said, but the stats and tackles and the things that he can offer will only help us and boost us. And at the minute, we're having trouble converting chances. But if we can stop that counter attack and we can push up a bit higher and sort of press them and flood more players into the pitch, that will then provide more chances, because then you've got somebody like Ugarte waiting there who's happy to just sit and deal with any problems or any issues that come in. And I think he'll be a fan favorite as well. We love a South American player. We love them. Like every time they come to United, South American player, we're all over it. The aggression, the passion, the fight mentality, the absolute psychopathy that I think certain South Americans play. Like you see Leacher, like the idea of Leacher and Ugarte as a combo, like in that sort of area, is frightening. And I'm sure a lot of players would be like, "Fuck's sake, man." And deal with these 2 absolute nut jobs. I think, I think he's going to be. I think he'll be my new favorite player. I think I'm really excited.
Very quickly, I'd agree with that. I did put a picture in, Sam, which kind of encapsulates exactly what you was talking about. I don't know if you're able to put it just on the screen. It's Ten Hag and Ugarte stood together, and it's got like a message in the middle.
Yeah.
Hang that on the screen, because I think everything you just said there just perfectly encapsulates that picture. So we'll bang that on. I'm just going to read out a couple of comments whilst you do that. Box, Sancho repaid United with laziness, lateness, selfishness, poor mentality, and complete disrespect to the club and fans. I would have to agree with that. Did you say it's on the screen? Sorry.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Yeah, I think that picture there is exactly unite and fight Ugarte tonight. He'll love him. He'll be another one like Leacher. He has that connection, doesn't he? Like the South American players that you were saying, with passion, pride, fighting for your team. And we need to get a chant going for him.
There was a quote, that he said at PSG. He said when they've got the ball, he wants to win it, and when they don't have the ball, he wants to fight. And like that's perfect. I love that shit. Like I love an aggressive player. I love a bit of a nut job in my player, and I think he's gonna be it. I think he's gonna be that guy.
I was listening to a South American journalist on him, and he was saying exactly like that. He puts fires out. He's exactly what United needs. He covers more ground than almost anyone. We was always saying we want an N'Golo Kante type of player to. I'm not saying he's going to turn out like that, but we were saying that type of player to come in alongside Kobe, because you look at the work that Kobe's putting in at times. He looks very leggy, doesn't he, towards the end of the game. So having Ugarte next to him now, Bruno, Kobe, I feel much more secure, much more safe. Now, there'll be a bit of a transitional period, as you will with most players. But like we said, this guy runs through steel, mate. So I think he'll be up to speed pretty quickly, is my estimate. Now, again, I'll get into the quotes, but there's quite a few comments, so I just want to read some of these out. I don't want to leave people hanging. Elite baller, he has no loyalty to the manager, his colleagues, the club, or the fans. That's obviously about Sancho. Ugarte, a.k.a. Bugatti. Nice. One. Get your nicknames in for Ugarte as well. If anyone's got one, someone put a really good one in the other day, and I can't remember what it was. If you're in the chat, put it again, because it was decent. Probably the best moment for him was the goal against Liverpool. Would you agree with that, Sam? Sancho?
Yeah, I'd say so. When I think of Sancho at United for positives, that's probably the one that pops into my head first, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely agree. I mean, I can't think of any other fucking memories off the top of my head, so I'd have to go with that one. Sorry, there's that many. I'm just trying. Jamie McGrogan, do we think the powers that be just regard Sterling and what comes with him is less of a problem than Sancho is?
Possibly, but Sterling's not really. He's not coming to United, so it's kind of a moot point now, isn't it? Because he's not coming. So
yeah. Andy Williams, I want Rashford sold this summer. I need new wingers. I'm tired of these soft fairies. Strong words there.
Bit late for Rashford to be sold, mate. I think you've got 50 minutes for him to be sold. So don't see it happening.
Yeah, that would be the biggest shock in transfer window history if Rashford was to go. Yeah, be huge. Have you heard Arsenal prepared to take us to court over Chido Obi Martin deal? I haven't. I know there's some legal things ongoing with it and the ratification and contract, which seems a little bit messy, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one and see how it goes. So Jim has strutted into those transfer negotiations with his big boy pants on, meeting after meeting. Thank you so much, everyone, for the comments. Smash a like on the video. Come on, Ugarte is signed and Sancho has gone to Chelsea. That definitely deserves a like from you lot. So get him smashed. Rocky Singh, Ugarte signing pushes us up to 7 out of 10 transfer window. 7? Just a 7? Come on, it's got to be more than that. Richard's here. He's back from COVID. Sorry, he's back from COVID. Hello, Richard. How are we feeling, mate? Let us know.
Yeah, I was a 7.5 with Ugarte, and I think if we would have got a left back, it would have been 8.5, 9. I think, but yeah, 7.5. That's about where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that Appleton guy doing the loans? Do we know? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that time. Yeah, he came in for that specific role, so I'm pretty sure. If it is, if you've got a loan obligation for 25 million for Jadon Sancho and his wages off the bill, I'm happy. I'm happy, man. Right, should we get into these quotes?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So this is from the man himself. I'm still trying to think of a nickname. I'll get there. It's an incredible feeling. This is Manuel Ugarte. It's an incredible feeling to join a club of this magnitude, one that is admired all around the world. The project that the football leadership discussed with me is extremely exciting. United is an ambitious club, and I am an ambitious player. There is more, but just on that, Sam, we've heard that so many times from players now, haven't we, about the project?
Yep. I think that's what the selling point was. I think when Dan Ashworth and Wilcox and whoever have gone to a player like Manuel Ugarte, like a Joshua Zirkzee, De Ligt, they've gone and gone, look, we know United have been poor the last couple of years, but this is a new regime. This is how we're handling things. This is our aims. This is the goals. This is what we do. I want you to be a part of it and help us rebuild and get United back to the top. Because, United have been shit for like the last 10 so years and we've been poor. But, however, that name carries value still to this day, Manchester United. Every player knows who we are. They know the stature of the club and they know the history. Everybody knows it. Same with Barca. Barca are in absolute fucking financial disarray at the minute. But you say the name Barcelona, players turn their head. They're like, Barcelona. Same with United. And I think that's the way they've sold it to them. This is the rebuild, and you can be part of the new era of Manchester United winning trophies. And I think a lot of players who've got that kind of fight in them, like an Ugarte, like a De Ligt, have gone, yeah, I want a piece of that. I want to go there and do that. Whereas in previous, we've had to go to players, we'll pay you more than everybody else. And they've gone, all right, well, I'll go there then, which is not the attitude you want. You don't want mercenaries coming for money. You want players coming to fight. De Ligt took a pay cut to come here. And like Awarte's basically gone, no, I don't want to go anywhere else. I want United only. And he's waited since July to get here. And I think that's the kind of players you want.
And again, I think you segued perfectly into these next quotes, because these encapsulate exactly what you were just saying. I will sacrifice and give everything for my teammates. Together, we will fight to win trophies and reach the level where this club needs to be. The passion of the supporters is something that is very important to me. I'm someone who is so determined to succeed. I will sacrifice and give my everything for teammates. Together, we will. Oh, sorry, I already read that bit out. But yeah, you take my point. He's that guy in it. It seems like, I know sometimes it could be quotes and throwaway quotes, but you look at the back line now, character, personality, Onana. People might not like him, the mistakes they made at the start, I agree with that side of it, but you can't deny the guy is full of character and his confidence, and he's even when he was talking about the younger players at the club, he was like, listen, don't worry about them. Yeah. Put the blame on me. I'm here to take that. I'm here to take criticism. They're the kind of guys that you want in the team. De Ligt, Lissandro, absolute leadership experts, almost warriors in the back line. Dalot trains, you heard about his attitude off the pitch, trains extremely hard, always consistent. Ronaldo touched on that. Mazraoui is another one who's, professionalism. Ugarte in front of that, the triangle of De Ligt, Lissandro and Ugarte. Now, if you can keep them all fit together, you've got the right heads. And I think that's something that's gone a little bit under the radar, Sam, in terms of like the dressing room culture and getting in the right people. With some of the players that we got rid of, Sancho, Martial, I don't want to, cast the same spell over everyone, but we have had players like that, and it seems to be changing the profile of that now.
And there's still a couple that I think personally need to go. I think I still might be an issue, but again, we can't solve every issue in one window. Like, it's just not possible. So it's going to take time. Like I think Sir Jim said, 2 to 3 years before we'll address everything. So you'll next summer you might see something similar. You might see an absolute exodus of people go, like a Rashford, like a Luke Shaw, people like that. You might see a bunch of people go. So I think it's a continuing process, and I think the dressing room culture needs to change. I was listening to Talk of the Devils today. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but they were speaking about after the Crystal Palace game. Apparently, a bunch of players like Dalot, like Bruno, stood up and went, "We're not having this anymore. We're not playing like this." And Ten Hag basically took a step back and let those players sort of take charge of it. And then the following thing was like better performances that you saw. And Ten Hag changed it tactically, and the players stepped up to the plate and did that. And I think adding players like De Ligt, adding players like Ugarte, Mazraoui, those kind of players, I think will add to that mentality and that ability to stand up and make themselves counted when things are going shit, and also lead the team to victories and to glories and trophies and that kind of stuff.
I always say I never like judging the first couple of games to start the season. I think I touched on it in the Liverpool preview before. I think that game's going to be extremely difficult, and we could even come away with the loss. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. But after the international break, you think Højlund coming back into the team. You've got Luke Shaw, hopefully, if he, I know it's a big if, but if he does stay fit and he comes back into the team, and then Ugarte on top of that, I don't care what anyone says on the planet, you have to push for a top 4 with the money that's been spent and the players that you have in your team. I know Euro doesn't come back until November, but he's not the be all and end all of the side. You've got to really start pushing now, aren't you, Sam? Like, see performances.
Yeah, manager's been backed. I think tactically he needs to work out what he's doing. I think we touched on this with James yesterday. If you haven't seen the interview with James for the Mupteers, go check it out. It's on the channel now with like really, really detailed stuff about all the stuff we're chatting about now. He needs to work out the way he wants to play, because he's trying to do this high press transition football, but then you got players like Ahmad who just doesn't suit. Like, it's not like his game. Maybe they're waiting for someone like an Ugarte to come in so they can sort of change it up a little bit. So yeah, whilst the manager is now going to be tested and he's going to be like right, you've got your squad, you've got your players, you've been backed, show us what you can do. I think the players also have to step up there and do that also and give the manager the best chance of succeeding. But again, yeah, pressure's on Ten Hag now. Absolutely on Ten Hag. So if we're still here in, let's say, just for Christmas and we're talking about more games like we saw against Brighton, I think he might be in trouble and he might go.
You have to be. I think he will definitely know that now. You look at every other team in Europe almost, Chelsea aside, because they are just doing a fucking madness.
Yeah.
They haven't recruited as well as we have. And it's, look, people will, I know people in the comments when I've said this before have said, well, you can't judge it just off buying them. That's the only thing we can do at the minute. On paper, these are good players, good, solid players. And other teams, Arsenal was looking at Xerxes, for example. Before Ugarte went to PSG, there was loads of teams interested in from Sporting Lisbon. You know, with Mateus de Ligt, there was teams interested in him. We knew that. I think West Ham wanted Mazraoui, didn't they, at some point, and ended up getting Wan-Bissaka. So there are teams interested in these players. There's still high-level quality players that are brought in. So I think we've had a fantastic window. I'm very, very happy. I'm just waiting for the inevitable rival fans to tell us how shit it is and nothing's changed. It's still the Glazers and all that kind of nonsense. But,
I've got a chant for you. It's just clicked into my head. Did you know the Beastie Boys songs?
I only know one, and it's the most popular one.
So you gotta fight.
We gotta fight
for your right to a
Okay, that's cooking.
Like
I'm a fan of that. You gotta fight do for your right, do for a what? Or just Duarte.
Either way, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Either way it works. There we go. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
In the Stretford end, I can imagine that.
That's the best I can do. Who's the guy who does the songs? Richard, let me know. Who's the guy who does the songs? Get it onto him. Yeah. Get that sorted out.
Cooking that. Big fan. Right, back to the comments then. What are we all saying, you lovely individuals? That's what I like to hear from new players as well. Yoro said, when the manager puts me on the pitch, I'll die for the shirt. Exactly. Reoccurring theme with each one. Obligation to buy clause for Sancho is 25 mil. Yeah, we've touched on that. Feels like we have a unit at the back or the beginning of an actual unit, and we haven't had that in a long time. Age profile, something as well, in it, Sam. Ugarte, 23. De Ligt, 25. Sancho's only 26, I believe. I don't know. How old was Rauri? You know,
27,
26?
27, 26, somewhere around
there. Dallo's still 23, I believe 23, 24. You know, the youngsters in the start. Even Onana's young for a goalkeeper. He's like 29. He's my age, Onana, which is absolutely bonkers. So,
we've totally overhauled that that age profile. Like, if you look at the previous thing, like Varane was what, 31, 32? Martial was pushing 30. Who else? Like, there's a bunch of players that we sort of like got rid of who were just pushing that age, and now we totally refreshed it. And like, what is our oldest players? Like Bruno, oldest player?
Well, and Johnny Evans is the oldest player.
I don't count Johnny Evans, but
well, I think Maguire, Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksen, I would say our oldest players.
Eriksen's probably on his way out. I reckon we might see something tonight
in a rocking chair somewhere, fucking doing something. Eriksen. So, McMillan in the chat. So glad Ineos stayed away from Hermoso, Tony, Rabiot, and Amrabat. Yeah, they don't seem to. Again, we've talked about under 25. None of them are under 25. So there's no longevity in that. Sancho to Chelsea would be like Varane to Chelsea. It won't work out for him. Let's discuss that, Sam.
Yeah.
Sancho, do you think he'll do well at Chelsea or not?
No.
Explain what happens. Try predict what happens for him this season.
Plays a game or two, comes off the bench a few times, and then the manager drops him. That'll be it.
I don't know.
And then I think that man. I don't think Maresca lasts the season. I think he goes at some point.
I think if he's going to be a coach who gets the best out of it, or at least appreciates him more, I do think it would be Maresca. I think he'll be okay for him, but I don't think he'll I think it'll be in the between. I don't think he'll flop, but I don't think he'll be like an absolute starter because I think there's a lot of competition.
He's gonna have to be absolutely outstanding in training to basically replace one of their wingers, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't see it.
We know
he doesn't train well. So I just don't see it. I really don't see it. I think he'll be given opportunities in time to sort of come in, but at some point the shit's gonna have to hit the fan, and he's gonna have to step up, and he just won't.
Yeah. Suki Vinga Singh says, how many people, by the way, have we got in the chat with the second name Singh? That seems to be such a popular
It's
name.
like, I think in India it's like Smith. I think it's like a very popular
Ah,
Indian
okay.
name, I
We've got
believe.
Rocky Singh, we've
Yeah,
got Sukhavinga Singh, we've got Shreyas Singh,
yeah,
obviously as part of the channel, and we've got Lucky Singh
yeah.
as well. So we're getting our own little Singh members here.
Singh
Love it.
brothers.
Mm. Fulham have just signed a really good young winger. Emest Numawa was at Nordland before he joined Leon.
Interesting.
Once he has a chicken curry, will he be called Ufate?
Nice,
That's from
nice,
Macmillan. Yeah.
very nice.
Richard Hawkins, I think we'll be fine. We'll have bumps along the road, but it'll be okay. I'm going to say what I said when I watched my first game 58 years ago. We are Manchester United.
Yep.
Yeah. Milan were interested in Xerxes as well. Yeah. Facts. Everyone's talking facts.
We stole him. Like, didn't Ibrahimovic do an interview and just basically say we lost out to United or something like that?
Yeah, called it as it was, straight up. That's what happens when United come knocking. Unlucky, fellas. Out of curiosity, what's the average age of the squad now? Right, I'll pull that up for you.
I just want to shout out as well. Punch Pate came up with the same song as I did. I've got to give him his moment. You got to fight for your right to Ugarte. So well done, Punch Pate. Great minds think alike. Well done.
Classic, absolute classic. Average age.
I think Johnny Evans kind of skews it, doesn't he? Like he's gonna.
He like it creates a giant gap, doesn't it? I'm sure it usually says it on SofaScore. Somewhere. I'm guessing. Well, they definitely brought it down, but I don't know if they're going to include it in the actual stat. Here we go. Yeah. Average player age. What do you reckon it is, Sam? Got it up here.
28.
24.9 years.
Oh, fucking hell. Wow.
Yes.
Nice, young.
Surprised me. A lot. So technically in our squad now, we pull the squad list up. I mean, I could probably name off the top of my head anyway. But
you think as well, Jay McGrogan in the chat, Evans and Ericsson go, that's going to fucking drop it down to like 23, 22.
Yeah, now that's closer to Arsenal. I remember looking at Arsenal's squad and like, there's his average 24. Like Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, all these like really young. Obviously Declan Rice as well, Saka. But our forward line, Rasmus, Xerxes, and Wheatley are all obviously 21. Hoyland, Xerxes 23, Wheatley 19. So that's like young straight away. Bruno ticks up a bit, Casemiro ticks up a bit, but then you've got Garnacho, Antony, Mount, Kobe, Ahmad, Dango, and Toby Collier, who are all like drag it right down. And then going into the back line, Leacher, Delit, Majraure, around the kind of 23 to 25. You've got Yoro, obviously 18, 19, Diego Delo, Harry Amas, Malacia is still relatively young, and then a couple of experience in Shaw, Lindelof, and Maguire. So yeah, they brought it right down, and that's in one window. That's one window.
It just shows you. Just shows you when you've got football people in charge and football people running stuff, what you can do and what impact you can make in a short amount of time. Because I don't think the Glazers in 20 years could do this. I don't think in 20 years they could. So in your to be able to do this in year, imagine what they can do in 2 or 3 years when Sir Jim says that other thing. Just imagine what they can do. Like, obviously, we're not going to get everything right. Some of these transfers might not work. They might not work. But if you get the majority working and you can show you're going in the right direction, I think fans are more forgiving. Because Fergie got transfers wrong all the time. Like Kleberson, Jemba, people like that. But people didn't care because we were winning shit and we were doing well. So if you win and you do well, people are more forgiving of mistakes. Whereas under the Glazers, it was mistakes and we were shit. It's just that people ain't going to sit for it.
Sorry, just some more stats coming in on Manuel Ugarte. In League One last season, so PSG rank, first for ball recoveries, 181. First for interceptions, 40. First for tackles in the middle third, 43. First for tackles in the defensive third, and first in tackles in the attacking third. An absolute monstrous ball winner in all areas. Thank fucking God.
Very impressive.
Praise the Lord.
It's also as well, you got to think he's 23. He's not even in his prime yet. It's not his prime yet. He's still got 3-4 years before he hits his prime. So
yeah, it is mad. Did you see Ten Hag's quotes, by the way, on McTominay? I don't know if you managed to catch them.
Yeah, I saw them when I did the quotes and stuff. He was not happy, was he? That he didn't want to lose him basically. But I know it's come out now, and James from the Muppeteers told us off camera about this stuff, but now it's actually come out in the public that Ten Hag was not happy to lose him. But yeah, I get it, man, because he essentially saved his job, didn't he? Like
Yeah,
multiple times, like the amount of times he saved us last season, like he saved Ten Hag's job. Like I think without those wins, like that Brentford win and different sort of games, where would we be in the table, man? 10th, 11th, like bottom half of the table. It could have been disastrous. So I can see why he wants to keep him, and obviously managers want players, so he would have liked to have McTominay and Ugarte. I don't think he didn't want Ugarte. I don't think that was the case. But obviously with FFP and PSR, we had to sell to buy. And not Rashford, McTominay was the one that could go because I think, what was it, the Casemiro thing died down. Nobody was interested because that was the plan originally, was to ship Casemiro, but nobody came in for him. So yeah, it's interesting to hear him say it in a press conference for sure.
Yeah, I think Jay makes a great point. So I'm looking forward to the football when all this starts blending together. Just football in general, innit? Because look, as a fan channel, we at the start of the summer we're ecstatic to cover transfers. We're very, very excited. But we've discussed so many of these players in so much depth, haven't we, Sam? It's getting to a point where like I am legit. I mean, I'm burnt out from today for sure.
It's over. It's finished.
Yeah, but I'm happy to kind of put this behind us now and focus on the season ahead. We've already had the Europa League draw, we've already had the Carabao Cup draw. The FA Cup starts a little bit later on, so now it's time to look at it. You've got Liverpool, have to put in a good performance there. If we can win that, carry momentum into the international break. We can't really carry momentum, can you? But
No.
You take my point. It'd be nice to take a positive result, and then you start your season properly when players get back and you've got a full team. I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm still not utterly convinced by the way we're playing, but I like the players at the same time. So it's a difficult one because if they do decide to get rid of Ten Hag, let's say by December, you've just brought in a load of players, Majara, De Ligt.
I think they brought in players though that I think a couple of them obviously worked under Ten Hag and De Ligt and Matswari, but I think they've been brought in regardless of who the manager is. I think that's the way we're operating now. Like these players are going to work if we do decide to bring in a new manager. And yet they do have Ten Hag connections, but I think they've been brought in regardless, like whoever is going to manage us. So I hope it works with Ten Hag. I really do. I hope it works for him. I'm not as pessimistic as you yet. Like we've only 2 games in. I think, again, I've said it many times, if we're game week 10, game week 11, and it's still like this, I'll start to worry. But at the minute, it's still early days. Let's see what happens. We've finally got everybody in now, barring an absolute ridiculous thing in the next half hour. We've got everybody in now. Everybody's gone as well. So let's see what happens now with a full team, full squad. Let's see what we can do.
Do you want to read out some comments, Sam? Because my head's fried.
Yeah, absolutely. Where were we? Sing, all part of royalty. If that's interesting, if true, it's a royalty name. Peter Boyler's the one doing the songs. We'll get it to the table and the bishop started getting bouncing. Yeah, absolutely. Let's fucking do that. Let's have a look. Average age is 25. Richard, spot on. But the age, what did you say? 24.9, did you say?
Something like that. Yeah.
Get rid of Ericsson, Lindelof, Maguire next summer. I think 2 of them are out of contract, so I think they'll be gone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we see Mount understudy Rashford now? I mean, he has to be fit first, doesn't he? Like, he has to be fit if he wants to do something. So, I actually like a proper team again. Dan Fenton, can't wait till a few winners, see where we're at. Just getting better and better. Come on, United. People talk about Diego Forlan, which is funny. Punchbait, I wish McTominay the best. I wish Sancho the worst. Fair enough. Did you see the McTominay video on the United YouTube channel? It's clear how much he's appreciated by staff and teammates. Yeah, he seems well liked. It seems like everybody loves the guy. I think Bruno posted something about him. He was in the interview talking about him. So yeah, really, really interesting. Look, guys, we have improved how we do business and we've improved our squad. Thanks so much, Sam and Nick. I mean, we didn't have anything to do with it, but thank you very much.
Yeah, I would love to say you're welcome, but
I agree, Sam J. Fulham was a really good player. He scored great goals for us. I'd like to hear from a Chelsea fan their thoughts on the Sancho signing. Yeah, that'd be interesting. See how Chelsea fans feel about that signing.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Now, by the time game 9, 10, 11, 12 come around, we'll be able to clearly see what they're cooking. I hope so. I really do hope so. Who out of our signings do you reckon won't work out? That's from Punch Paint question.
Very good question. I not hate doing this, but
If you
I
have
don't
to,
want to
if
like
you have to, if
put
you
a
had,
curse on someone's
you
name.
don't have to be absolute shocking or
Uh,
shit. You just might not reach the expectation that you'd be like,
Honestly, delete.
okay.
Just because, and the reason why I say this, I think he's a good player. I still have faith that he'll do good. I don't think he'll be amazing. And I'll
Okay.
put that. And I just think, I don't know. It's hard to say because there's been a couple of 10 minutes, but there's certain things I've seen him during the game where he's pushing up really tight,
Yeah.
and he's been spun a couple of times. So yeah, I don't know. It's something in my gut says delete, but I hope I'm completely wrong.
I would say, if I have to, I would say
You?
Max Rory. I think he's going to get injured a lot, and I just don't think he's going to have the momentum to sort of establish himself. But I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. You all right?
Who was that? Because you lagged out then. You're
Oh,
very
sorry.
laggy on my Discord.
Max Rory, I said. I think he's going to be injured quite a lot. Can you hear me?
Ah. Yeah, yeah, but it's your end is like very, very laggy.
Your end seems to be fine, so I don't know what's going on. I've got like 4
Yeah, it's like
bars on
keeps
my
pausing.
on my internet and stuff like that. I wonder what's happening.
Like your lip sync is behind as well, so you're
Yeah.
talking and the lip sync
Oh.
is. Do you know what I mean?
We've got a super chat from Richard. He sent £10 and he's put thank you for everything. Thank you so much, Richard. Appreciate the support, my brother.
Richard,
We appreciate that.
my fucking guy.
One of the OGs.
Thank you, man.
One of
Really,
the OGs there, Richard. Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
And I'm glad you're better from COVID because COVID is a motherfucker. And even for, and I don't mean no disrespect to this, I'm 29 and it put me in bed for 2 weeks straight. So if you're, 60 plus and you get COVID, it fucking hits you hard. So I'm glad you're okay, first and foremost. Legend.
Yeah, any questions, guys, if you've got them, we've got half an hour of the window left, so we might as well like take some questions if you've got any. Jamie McGogan, genuinely think Rasmus is going to excel this season, getting Xerxes and Rasmus being injured. He's gone under the radar. Top scorer this year, lads. Who's your top scorer, Nick?
I had a wild card one, but that's definitely not happening now. Definitely
Is
not
it Mason Mount?
So I'll go. No, it was Rashford won it. I said
Oh,
Rashford will get 20 plus goals. Just because you've seen the trajectory of his career before, he goes like that, doesn't he? So I just presumed he was going to go like that again. But he's staying down there. Top goal scorer, Bruno or Garnacho, I think. I don't know why. The reason why I don't say Højlund is because he does have that period where he's out for a couple. He's already got a hamstring injury now.
Yeah.
I see one around Christmas probably happening as well.
He's also
and Xerxes not that guy who's going to score loads of goals either.
He's also patchy as well. Like he had that period, didn't he? He scored a load of goals and then he stopped and he didn't score anything. Yeah. And then he scored a load of more and then like he seems like a bit of a patch sort of goal scorer where he'll score like 5-6 games in a row and then he won't score for 3. So could be. I would say, yeah, I'll go with Garnacho. I think Garnacho will be our top scorer.
Garnacho, yeah. Yeah, he had that period, didn't he, Højlund? He went like up to, I think was it December without a goal, scored against Aston Villa, then scored like, obviously he had that Champions League campaign as well, didn't he? We scored 5, top goal scorer in the group. And you're like, holy shit. And then we're like, we just need a league goal now. And then we was waiting and we was waiting, there was pressure. And then gets it against Villa, scores for like 10 in a row, and then had a phase again where it's like, you see in stats, he's not had the ball passed to him once and blah, blah, blah. So the service needs to improve on that front as well, I would say. Absolutely. For the strikers to score more goals.
Hopefully with Ahmad, that comes to fruition because you've got a less selfish winger on that side then. Like when you've got Garnacho and Rashford, it's so selfish, like it's ridiculous. But I think if you got Ahmad, he might be able to be involved there. Should we round up a couple of signings that are not United? Because I've seen a couple where they're just like...
Yeah, please do.
So Wilfried Zaha is going to Olympique Lyon from Galatasaray on loan. An interesting one. He's only been there, yeah.
I read on that that I think Galatasaray paying all his wages as well.
He could go back to the UK, but it was like a tax thing where he'd get charged an absolute fortune to go back to the UK. So I think that was part of it as well. Lo Celso to Real Betis from Spurs. Andre from Fluminense to Wolves. Manu Kone to Roma.
Oh,
Still no
How much was Andre from Fluminense?
Deal completed. It's not giving me any details, so I don't know how much. No
Because he was a
agreement.
target if we didn't get Ugarte.
No agreement yet between Osman and Chelsea. Proposal presented 2 hours ago, so I don't think that one's happening. Gilmore to Napoli is done deal. That's happened. What else have we got? More United stuff. Raheem and Sterling and Arsenal deal at final stages, so that could be confirmed before the end of today. Nobody
Good
cares
depth
about
for them. That
Nobody cares about
It'd be interested
Southampton.
to see if it's a permanent deal or a loan deal.
I think it's a loan from what everybody's speaking about. I believe it's a loan, but we'll see. He's played for like every club now, and he's Sterling. City, Liverpool,
Crazy.
Chelsea, Arsenal.
Crazy.
Fucking hell. Ridiculous.
Oh, he's one of the most decorated players, wingers in the league.
Yep.
He is. He's right up there in terms of experience.
Won everything.
There's a question, sorry, for Jonathan Ball, really good question, saying, who do you think our front three will be by the end of the season?
Who would I pick, or who?
Very good question.
Who's Ten Hag gonna pick?
What do you think it'll be? So, like, let's say the last 10, 15 games, who do you think the front three will be the go-to? Because last season it was Rasmus, Garnacho, and Rashford, wasn't it?
Yes. I think it'll be Højlund, Ahmad, Garnacho.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Am I lagging again?
Hello? What's going on?
I think everybody in the chat can still hear me. If you guys in the chat can still hear me, then please let me know. I think it might be a Discord issue. Am I still here? Am I gone? Am I awake? Am I alive? My heart's still beating.
I can hear you, but
okay,
it's all over the place.
All right. It seems fine on my end, and everybody in the chat can see me. So I think there's a Discord issue. I think there's a problem with Discord. But yeah, I would say Garnacho, Højlund, Ahmad.
Garnacho, Ahmad, Højlund.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know you can hear us both, but on my end, like I'm speaking over Sam. There's a delay in Discord or something, so it's fucking with me head. I feel like I'm interrupting him, and then he's interrupting me like unnecessary in like both ways. So yeah, if that does keep happening, then I can't really do anything. Discord is just shit, honestly. It needs to sort his shit out. Our transfer window's breaking the internet. That's from Punch Paint. The award of G of the week goes to Richard. Yeah, it certainly does. What a guy. All of you, appreciate all of you who are always in the chat. Would you guys ever consider being on field reporters like Ian Irving style? Sam?
No, I don't like being on camera.
Not your thing, that is it?
No, like I've been on, like, I'm on camera and I enjoy doing this channel. Don't get me wrong, but it's not.
Yeah.
I'm a creative guy. I like being behind the scenes. I like making stuff. I like filming cameras. That's the kind of thing I'd be into. So if Nick wants to get on the pitch and do it, I will film him. I will shoot it and I'll edit it. I'm happy to do that. But I think Nick would be very good at that. And I think if he was given the opportunity, he definitely would. But I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely spot on. That is my dream. If I could do a piece, even if it was 5 minutes, 6 minute, like a match analysis or at Old Trafford. You see Flex do it sometimes, don't you, with this channel and a few others. If I could do something like that and just give my thoughts for 5 minutes on the Old Trafford pitch when it's quiet and no one's in, that is a fucking dream, and I'd love to do it. I'd love to do Ian Irving's job just in general. I think he's fucking top class. Very, very good at what he does. I had an interview recently with Majrawi, which was fantastic. You've got another one dropping this weekend. Melissa Reddy doing one with Leacher. Those kind of things I'd love. Whether I'm mainstream enough, that's a different thing. I don't know.
Well, you've got
the
guys. I don't know if you used to watch Football Daily back in the day with Joe Tomlinson and all that sort of stuff. They've now joined Sky. Like, they're part of Sky and doing that actual thing. So it seems like there's opportunities for like non-mainstream people to sort of break in. And then, if you guys love Ian Irving, like we did an interview with him a couple of weeks ago, one of the nicest blokes in the world, fantastic guy, cannot say enough good things about him. So please do go check out that interview. Transfers might be a bit outdated, but we talked about things other than transfers. Like we talked about United fandom and all that in his interview and stuff like that. So please do go look at that. One of my favorite things we've ever done on this channel. Yeah,
great interview. Just sorry, back to the window, Romano just tweeted, deal completely off for Victor Osimhen. No agreement with Chelsea. Delegation now leaving Napoli. If nothing happens from Saudi in the next 3 days, Osimhen will stay at Napoli, but he's not going to be a part of the first team squad. Relationship currently completely broken.
Wow. Fucked.
Yeah,
Absolutely fucked.
crazy. From Samuel Luckhurst, Sancho would be Manchester United's 9th sale, given obligation to buy this summer of a player who's played for the first team, shifting strategy with disciplined spending on individual fees and proactive sales has been stark. United need a proven goal scorer, but a very positive window. Wow, even Luckhurst is being positive.
Fucking hell.
It should tell you everything.
You've seen somebody's retweeted a David Ornstein tweet from December 6th, 2009. And it says, how many new strikers are Chelsea going to be linked with signing in Jan? Every Sunday, the paper say there are 2 or 3 in advanced talks, and somebody's retweeted it.
Okay, no.
Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
By the way, did you see Neil Mopey's tweet about moving to
what the fuck is he doing now?
where's he just gone to?
Fucking shit out.
The Andy Dufresne emoji thing that he did. So he put a video up after he left Everton and joined for Marseille, or I don't know who he signed for, a team in the French league. Anyway, and he retweeted Romano's thing saying, "Here we go, Neil Mopey's thing there," and he put a video. You know when Andy Dufresne gets out of the tunnel and he's like looking up. This guy, man, honestly.
He's a fucking wind-up merchant, isn't he? He's an absolute wind-up merchant. Like, it's fucking insane. Jay McGrogan, one day, Nick. Bruno, Nick from Real West Talk. Could you tell us how you feel about a big win over Liverpool? The dream.
Mate, that is the fucking dream. You made me smile just thinking about that. Oh my god, I would love that. Alessandro, that's the pinnacle.
If you could coach a team outside the Prem, who would you manage? Mine's easy. AC Milan. At the San Siro.
If I could what?
Coach a team outside the Premier League, who would you manage? Mine's AC Milan. I love that club with everything. Like, they're not United, but I love that club.
Oh, some really good questions coming in tonight. It used to be Juventus. I used to be obsessed with Juventus, but I think they've really gone down the shit pan now with like just the way the club's being run and stuff. So it wouldn't be them. Oh, you put me on the spot. Oh, if I could coach a team, I really want to give you a good answer. But I'm like, I've always admired Barcelona, but then Barcelona again, the same as Juventus, they're just being ran.
Just
like
go with your heart. Go with your heart. Don't think logically. Just go with your heart. Like, what would you like walking out into somewhere? Like, what? Go with your heart. Madrid? Did you go with Madrid?
Madrid. Bernabeu. Yeah, the new
There you
Bernabeu, the players is. I know it's an obvious answer. Dortmund is another one who was going to say Craig as well. Yeah, I think Signal doing a part, 80k, yellow wall, get me right in there, 100%. Do you see Carragher when he was doing footage on CBS?
He's just jumping in the
fucking yellow wall. It's out of his head.
You see when he tried
fucking great.
It
was great. You got him back on for an interview after the game.
I was going to say that. You see the interview afterwards, and he's just out of his fucking mind trying to talk.
Yeah, pissed out his head. Yeah, that's Dortmund. Yeah, Dortmund's a great shout.
Do you think
another one as well?
Do you think our lack of depth in the wide areas might cost us top 4? I don't think we've got lack of depth. I think we've got some decent depth in the wide areas, personally.
Yeah, I'm happy with Ahmad, Garnacho, Rashford if you want to use an impact, Anthony in the cup games. I'm okay with. I think they're good enough quality.
Yeah.
So I think we're all right in that area.
Dan Fenton, what would be your first 11 if we had all players fit? Nick, Sam?
We did this the other day, didn't we?
Did we?
If everyone's fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we disagreed on a couple of them. There's me, you, and Chive who touched on it. I said I'd have Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Sancho, Shaw, Ugarte, Mainu, Bruno, Ahmad, Højlund, Garnacho. I think, or you can throw Xerxes in there as well. Or across the front three. That's what I'd go with.
I would agree, but only on the condition that Luke Shaw does not get injured at any point during that run. Yeah. Because if he does, I'm fucking done with it. Do you think match officials will target Ugarte the way they unfairly carded Casemiro?
I think if I'm not saying encouraging betting or anything like that, but if you're gonna, a yellow card for Ugarte is a sure thing.
Oh, yeah,
let me tell you,
definitely.
him and Casemiro every game, just double it because they're the most likely to get one. He is his volume of output. He is a madman, quite literally in the midfield. He'll be everywhere, just fighting with people, tackling, fucking doing everything. He's gonna quickly become Sam's favorite player, like you said. I can guarantee that.
Imagine when we play Casemiro and Ugarte together, it's just going to be yellow card central in that midfield, isn't it?
Oh, that's Lissandro behind him. Oh my god. Yeah.
Just people getting cropped every fucking day, man. Jesus Christ. What else we got? Nordjylland. I no idea if I pronounced that right, but here we go. I really like their Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to Google who they are.
I've heard of it.
That sounds Scandi, doesn't it? Nordjylland.
Yeah. While Sam's looking that up, I want to ask it because you guys are always asking us questions. So I want to ask you a question. Where are you watching from right now? Are you in the UK?
What time
is it? From America?
What time is it as well?
What time is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get that in there. I'm curious. I want to get to know people because we only see names, you see. So
hold on. One of my lights has died. I'm gonna have to sort that. But yeah, Football Club Nordsjælland is in Denmark. It was founded in a merger of two clubs, Farum IK and Standersflot BK, and became FC Nordsjælland. There you go. The more you know. I'm just going to sort my light out.
Love that accent there, by the way. Yeah, no worries. Right, let's see what people are saying where you're from, because I'm very interested to get into this. Sorry, just putting these stats on there. Well, not stats, but the outgoings, just so we can get into them in 5 minutes' time to end the window. Right, where are we all watching from? Craig Unicorns in California. Holy shit. California, man, that's so fucking cool.
California love.
There's so many great things coming out of there. Also, I don't know if it's the economy, or politicians or something. It's fucking nuts over there. I don't know if that's California or somewhere else. But I'm sure there's like a mayor who's doing crazy shit at the minute. I was listening to something. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off, but I'm pretty sure. Joshua Owen is Manchester. Love it. Punch Paint, 5:45 in the morning in Boston, Sam.
Surely that's at night. That can't be in the morning. Because they're behind us.
5:45 in Boston.
They're behind us.
Behind? Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I was going to say, that is dedication, mate, watching us at 5:45 in the morning. Jesus Christ.
Jay McGrogan with the
I'm the Isle of Man. And
Jay McGrogan, 10 to 11. Yeah, he's on the same time. Oh, fucking hell.
Dan's from the Isle of Man. Basildon. Where's Basildon?
Down south. Somewhere near London. Down
south.
Where the fuck is Jay McGrogan from? Osselwhistle. Where the fuck's that?
Nah, that's made up. Leek, UK. Where's Leek? I'm going to Google this.
I've heard of Leek. Jonathan
Ball.
That's
like a quite nice town, to be fair.
I am a black country boy that's been slowly going north. Oh, keep going till you reach Manchester then, Jonathan. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Oh, near Alton Towers. He lives.
Okay, fair enough.
Right near Alton Towers.
Rocky Singh said Basildon's in Essex. There you go.
Essex, mate. Like Joey Essex, isn't it? Essex. Proper distinct accent now. I'm just having a look at this one from Jay McGrogan because I think he's trolling. Don't believe it.
Oswald Thistle.
Oh, no, it is a town in England near Accrington.
Oh, okay.
Accrington, Stanley.
Not far away then.
No, not too far. Near Mrs. Dawson's Farm Park.
Breaking news. Raheem Sterling arrives at Arsenal training ground to undergo medical ahead of proposed transfer from Chelsea to Arsenal. Representative working on season-long loan for the 29-year-old. There you go.
Wow. Crazy. Now reflecting on it, I'm glad we just sold Sancho and didn't bring him in.
Yeah.
Quite happy about that. Moston born and bred, so he's a true Mancunian. I'll take that. Um, when did they make the rule that you have to be 18 to play in the Prem? Is that a rule?
No, because we played Cobby and Garnacho at 17. So
Did we play? Yeah, we did. But has
yeah.
that just been brought in, or
I don't know if it's
I don't know.
recent, but yeah.
What do you think of the ban on micro pads at youth level? Again, haven't heard of it. I do worry about him. Like if I was to put myself in perspective, if I was a father and I had a son and he was wearing shinnies that were like that, I'd be like, what's the fucking point? Just either don't wear them or
Yeah.
wear something that covers your shins, mate, because you'll regret it. If you get an
Yes.
Ugarte or a Casemiro 2 foot on your fucking shin and you don't have them on, I'm telling you now, that's
Well,
a fucking leg
kid,
snapper straight off the bat.
kids are gonna copy their heroes, aren't they? They're just gonna copy
Yeah,
like their heroes.
Grealish does it,
Like
and
you see,
yeah.
apparently Jay from Paddock was saying his kid was pulling holes in the back of his socks when he was going to
Yeah,
play because
yeah,
everybody has it. He's like, mate, they cost a fucking fortune. What are you doing? Got your
yeah, yeah.
holes in the socks,
Like,
man. Like,
yeah, his kids will do something. They'll wear headbands, holes in socks, micro pads, anything to look cool or look different and stuff.
do you
To
remember
be
the
honest, we all did it.
sleeve?
I remember back in the day, I'd wear mad shit.
Remember the arm sleeve when Pogba was wearing it, and then a bunch of people just
Yeah,
started wearing it. Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Like, weird.
that's what I mean. Like, just to stand out. It's like, you know, I understand it. Kids just want to be different. It is what it is. But they'll soon realize they'll learn the hard way when they get 2 footed,
Yeah.
and then they'll wear
Oh,
shin pads all the time. So
when you, me as a winger, I used to happen to me all the time. When you sort of nutmeg a defender or run past him, they'd always just stick the leg out and just twat you in the shins, like just try
yeah,
and sweep
yeah.
your thing. And you'd always get caught in the shins, and it's every time it was fucking horrible because you try and take your legs out from underneath you. So yeah, it's wear some proper shin pads, lads. Jay McGogan said
Absolutely.
2 nights ago, Sterling will go Arsenal if we don't take him. Sterling's hanging. The guy has no shame, man. Fair enough.
Just wants to play football, and I think that's the only thing. He probably would have gone to fucking Newcastle or something if it. They tried to sign Elanga later on. I'm surprised they didn't go in for him. I think Sterling for them would be a
Yeah.
pretty good signing, to be fair.
Yeah. Maybe he wanted
Maybe
to
they
stay
couldn't
in
afford his
London.
wages.
Maybe he wanted to stay in London.
Oh yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Have you ever been in an altercation or fight on the way to or from United matches? No, never been involved in a fight or an altercation.
Not a fight, but I've had an argument with a fan who was behind me, and he was about 50 odd, and he was the very kind of, I don't know how to put it, like a traditionalist English type of person, if you know what I mean by that, Sam.
Yeah, he votes.
Like England first, mate. We're from this country. Like
he votes for Nigel Farage, that kind of guy.
those kind of geese, and
Yeah.
he was behind us, and there was an Argentinian flag in the TRA section for Garnacho, and he was singing his song for Garnacho, and he was like, "Why are they fucking singing for that foreigner?" Blah blah blah. And I turned around and I'm like, "What the fuck are you on about? He's one of our players. Why can't you just support?" You know, he's a youngster. He's doing well in the team. What the fuck has his nationality got anything to do with it? And then we was going back and forth for ages. And then I think my mate who was sat with at the time was like, just shut up, because yeah. But I just thought it's ridiculous. Like, support anyone in your team, regardless where they're from.
There's always a racist dickhead in the ground, unfortunately. Which
Always.
it really
Always.
annoys me as well. Like I've been to grounds and games where they boo the black players of the other team. But then when our black player scores, they cheer, and it's just like, all right, okay, I see. Because they play for you, it's fine, but play for them, you're gonna boo them. Like, fuck off, you cunts. Absolute
weird.
Cunts. Punch Painter said, if you could be a pro at any sport besides football, what would you pick and why? I would go with MMA because I used to do a bit of kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Really enjoyed it. Was never good enough to do anything with it, but that would be my pick.
I am fucking dope at ping pong, and I would challenge anyone.
Gonna be Forrest Gump. Just
mate, I'm so good. My serve, my backhand serve at ping pong is electric. There is no one who can defend it. So ping pong, absolutely. I should be in the Beijing Olympics. That's what I reckon.
I got punched in the face by a Villa fan in the 80s. I was bloody 14. Yeah, the 80s was a weird time,
Oh
man.
my God.
80s was hooligans and shit, people having fights and stuff. Very weird. Dan Fenton, we're getting now Arsenal shit fans saying they're going to win it all with Sterling. They're going to win nothing. I hope so. I hope they win fuck all. That'd be nice. Lots of I don't know what that means, but fair enough, Jonathan.
Well, it is it's the last 4 minutes of the window now, so should we recap it quickly, Sam?
Yeah.
Signings brought in, of course, Yoro, Xerxes, Delit, Mazraoui, and Ugarte. Players to leave: McTominay, Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka, Kambuala, Mabry, Pellistri, Fernandez, Van der Beek, Sancho, Varane, Forson, Martial, Williams, and Sofian Amrabat, although he wasn't really a part of our team. That was just on loan. So, yeah, just give us a brief summary. How do you feel now the transfer window's pretty much over?
Yeah, add Chidi Open Martin to that, Samuel Lascelles and Sekou Kone as well to the signings as well in. Yeah, solid 8 out of 10. I would say 7.5, 8 out of 10 window. I think all our priority positions were covered: striker, centre backs, midfield, defensive midfielder. I think we got all our priority positions. Obviously, left back became an issue towards later in the window, but then it just seemed like we were never going to get anybody over the line for that. But I think we've done well. The fees we've paid, I think, obviously the Euro fee was a big one. But I think when an 18-year-old generational talent becomes available, you have to move. You have to pay a little bit more. And we've got him for his best years. Every other price has been under 50 million, which I think is great. Decent age profiles as well. Nobody's over the age of like 25. So I think every single one we've got is done extremely well. And I think the people we've got out have been great as well. People like Scott McTominay, people like Mason Greenwood, Hannibal, those kind of guys who were like, yes, they're all right. Yes, they do some things for us. And then obviously with Greenwood, it's a separate issue. But they weren't United quality, and you got them out. You got a fee for them. You got sell-on clauses. And then even the ones that you got out, like Pellistri and people like that, Donny, didn't get much money for him, but you got a massive 40% sell-on clause. You got add-ons and stuff like that, where it's going to be in the future, if they do well, you get money from them. So yeah, I think solid window. The only thing that stood out to me that we didn't do was a left back. Everything else, I think Ineos absolutely smashed it out of the park.
I think I have given as much coverage on this window as I possibly can in terms of what I think about it. So I am not going to bore people with my opinion and my thoughts again, because I've said what I need to say. I'm just looking forward to football now. We can just focus purely on tactics, on the games, because they're going to be coming thick and fast. You know, when Europa League starts and Carabao and FA Cup, so many games and so much stuff to recover, and at least it makes the season more exciting in it, Sam, when you bring in players like the ones that we have.
Yeah, you know what's annoying though? Like, we've done all this transfer window, and we'll get to cover Liverpool this weekend, and then we got fuck all to talk about for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I know the irony in that, right?
Oh,
the irony in the time when it's going to be dead in terms of football being played. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sat there like, there's no stories.
I think we'll have to get some guests on. I think we'll have to get Jay on for Panic. Yeah, and we'll have to get some people on just to sort of break up
Alice
a bit.
Back on.
Yeah, get some people on. Jadon Sancho definitely worth every penny of his 300k a week. I hope that's sarcasm, elite baller. Dan Fenton, 8 out of 10, good transfer window, not overpaid, not paid United tax, absolutely. Who do you think I'll be? I think we've answered that question. Best signing this season. Window's definitely a big 8 out of 10. Delit will be the best signing. Long term, it'll be Yoro. Region would have been a good left back signing, solve that left back position. Yeah, I agree. Ineos set the stall out now. They have a very good standard of operations, has to be maintained. Are we all happy now the window is closed? On to football now. Come on. What grounders has the best food for you? Well, I've never eaten at any other club besides United.
Definitely not United.
It's not United, so I couldn't tell you. What drink would you... If you could only drink one pint or cocktail for the rest of your days, what's your drink? Easy for me, old-fashioned. I can drink that all day.
Yeah. A pint of old-fashioned, though?
No, it said a pint. It says a pint or a cocktail.
Oh, right. I thought you meant a pint of a drink.
No, I'm not going to have a pint of it. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, you'd be absolutely arsehole after one of them. Yeah. You know, I like Long Island's. I like similar drinks to Sam, but I'll go Long Island. I'm a fan.
The transfer window has shut. It's 11 o'clock. Transfer window is closed. It's done. We should have made we should have made a graphic or something, shouldn't we? What have you got on the soundboard? Is anything reliable on the soundboard?
I'm looking. It's just maybe this.
Go on, shoot.
You can have that if you want it. I don't know. That's the closest thing. Maybe one of these. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
That's it.
Unbelievable.
That's the only thing. Do you want to see us out, Sam? Because I'm fucked.
Yeah, I feel you, mate. You've done a lot of videos today. You've done a lot of videos. Yeah, I think that's the end of it. I think we've finished. The transfer window is closed, barring a late submission of the papers of United. I don't think we're going to sign anyone. Jadon Sancho was gone. That was the last deal today. Manuel Ugarte is official. He's done. He's done his interview. He's done a thing. He will not be available for Liverpool, unfortunately. Excuse me. Scott McTominay has joined Napoli. Official, done deal. He's done his interview as well. And I think, yeah, solid 8 out of 10 window. I'm sure Nick would agree if he had the energy to talk. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Joshua, Dan, Rocky, Jamie McGrogan, Dan Fenton, Craig, Elite Baller. Who else am I missing? Punch Paint. I don't want to miss anybody. Let me just scroll up. Brian, I know he's not here, but Brian Casey, you got to shout him out as always. Richard, hope he's getting well from that. Have I got anybody else? Am I missing anybody? I don't think so. I think I got everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. It was a long one, but it was worth it. And I think we all had fun. Me and Nick are going to go lie down in a dark room for a bit for Liverpool on Sunday. Join us tomorrow. There will be a show tomorrow on something, I'm sure. We'll wrap up everything. Sunday, pre-match, watch along, post-match review, all that good stuff. Come check us out. Go follow us on all the socials if you want all the details on the transfers, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed, why the fuck are you here not subscribing? Subscribe to the channel. Join the membership if you want extra content. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.
And breathe.